The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine or idealism. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. There's no coming to consciousness without pain. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Show me a sane man and I will cure him for you. No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light of meaning in the darkness of mere being. Thinking is difficult, that's why most people judge. Whatever is rejected from the self, appears in the world as an event. Where wisdom reigns, there is no conflict between thinking and feeling. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. How can I be substantial if I do not cast a shadow? I must have a dark side also if I am to be whole. The greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. Shame is a soul-leading emotion. The best political, social, and spiritual work we can do is to withdraw the projection of our shadow onto others. What you resist, persists. The first half of life is devoted to forming a healthy ego, the second half is going inward and letting go of it. Nothing has a stronger influence psychologically on their environment and especially on their children than the unlived life of the parent. The reason for evil in the world is that people are not able to tell their stories. Wholeness is not achieved by cutting off a portion of one's being, but by integration of the contraries. Nights through dreams tell the myths forgotten by the day. Every human life contains a potential. If that potential is not fulfilled, then that life was wasted. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. I must also have a dark side if I am to be whole. We meet ourselves time and again in 1,000 disguises on the path of life. There can be no transforming of darkness into light and of apathy into movement without emotion. I shall not commit the fashionable stupidity of regarding everything I cannot explain as a fraud. If one does not understand a person, one tends to regard him as a fool. Find out what a person fears most and that is where he will develop next. Words are animals, alive with a will of their own. Sometimes you have to do something unforgivable just to be able to go on living. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it appears outside as fate. Midlife is the time to let go of an over-dominant ego and to contemplate the deeper significance of human existence. The bigger the crowd, the more negligible the individual becomes. Loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. If the path before you is clear, you're probably on someone else's. In each of us there is another whom we do not know.